Hello everyone. Welcome back to Selenium series with Ruby language. So in today's session we are going to work with checkbox and radio buttons. So in this video I'll just show how to work with checkbox and radio button with Selenium and Ruby as a language. So what are we going to achieve today? So we'll just see the agenda. So we are going to check for checkboxes. So in this first check, we are going to check if a checkbox exists. If it exists, we'll iterate among all the checkboxes, the values that is given in the checkbox, and we'll check one value in the checkbox. Let's say I have 10 values or 10 values are given for a set of checkboxes, and I will check one out of the 10. Same thing we'll do for radio button also. We'll check if a radio button exists. If it exists, I'll just iterate among the values or the options in the radio button, and then I'll select any one of the radio button as per the requirement again. So for this particular test, I'm going to navigate to a particular website that I find was easy to start working or to show it as a demonstration in today's session. So this is a link of the website that I used to test and demonstrate. So I'll hit that particular link over here. So you can see this is a sample website. It was just available online. I searched and I got it. So it's nothing big in that. So you can see it has some check boxes over here, which says my favorite color: red, yellow, blue, green, orange, and purple. So out of these six checkboxes, I'll select one checkbox out of the six. And the same thing I'll do for radio button also. So you can see in the same page, we have some radio buttons. Your current web browser is, i.e. Mozilla or Opera. So I'll again do the same thing for a radio button. I'll select one out of the three. So for this thing, first we have to launch a particular browser or this particular web page in the particular web browser. So for that, we'll start writing code. So I'll open my Eclipse again. So I'll just go to my one of the projects. So I'll just create one quick Ruby file. So I'll just name it as dropdown and radio.rb. So I'll just copy some piece of code from the previous um, test to launch a Firefox browser and navigate to website. So in the previous thing we're going to Facebook. Now in our case we are going to some other website. So I'll just quickly copy the link again and I'll just paste it there. So now we are good to go. We are able to launch a Firefox browser and we'll be able to navigate to this particular website. So now we'll just write a piece of code in which we'll be checking if the value exists for, or if the value, or if you can say like the checkbox exists in the particular page or not. So I'll just quickly go to this page, checkboxes. Okay, it's there. Just spy it using Firebug. Okay, it's there. Let me spy. Okay, so we have this checkboxes here. So let me write the XPath a bit correct. It looks a bit weird to me. So it is input. So I'll write this, and the name is color. So we're checking with name, it's color. Okay, and I'm not iterating the entire thing, so it's okay. So now you can see it's displaying six values, that is six checkboxes, because we're not given anything else, another attribute like the value and all. So it's totally correct, no issues. So it'll uh, return a list of elements, so it's fine. So we'll just copy this thing, we'll paste it here, and we'll just write a piece of code. So I'll just again copy the same thing from the previous thing, the test, and just it's easy to go like this. So I'm assuming like you all are comfortable with um, the previous session or whatever we have done till now, and I'll just paste that path here. Okay, so this is it. So we're checking for the particular checkboxes. So we're checking for checkbox which name is color. If it displays, we're good to go. We'll go inside this particular loop, and let's say I'm printing something here saying like checkbox is displayed. Okay, after this, we'll do one thing. We'll just copy the same thing from the drop-down test that we have performed previously. So it's easier to copy like this because it's difficult to write a single line. It will consume a lot of time. So I'll do one thing. I'll just copy and paste the entire code in the description below in the link so that you just use it and go ahead with that as well. So I'll just copy this thing as of now, and then I'll use whichever required. So I'll just copy the stuff from here. So we are going to use it. So okay, so till this step we have just focus on these first two lines. So we have check for the web element. So we'll do one thing, we'll just save this entire thing in a list. So I'll do one thing, I'll just copy, okay, it's there. So I'll just copy this thing and save in a handle. So it is there. So after this, I'll do one thing, I'll just copy the entire stuff or, the values in one more option. So now we'll do is like we'll use find elements. So previously we were doing only elements. Now we'll do find elements. So what are we doing in this step? Again, I'll tell you is, so, so till this step, what I have done is, so I have written a piece of code in which I am storing the entire element into a particular handle. You can say, it's getting stored in a value that is select. Select contain the entire list or, the handle of that. So from this particular element, I'm just iterating again in the entire elements. So now this particular value that is containing 6, I'm just storing all the values which is having an input value with the name as color. So now as we know in the previous thing we have already seen, it contains 6 matching nodes, you can see over here. So it's getting stored in all options. So to check this, I can just display in the size of this one. So I'll just make it a bit aligned. Okay, so we are done. So now in this step, we are going to iterate in all the options that you can see over here. So we have written a loop again over here. So I'm iterating each options here and I'm checking for each and every option. So this says like option. So I'm just giving a statement again saying like the value is, and I'm getting the attribute of text. But in our case, it is different. We are getting an attribute of value. So I'll type value over here. So it will return, when it will return like value is, and the value as red, then the value is yellow, the value is blue, and all it will return like that. So then again, there is a loop over here that we want to write. So in this thing, we are just checking if there is a checkbox with, let's say, a value orange. If it is there, I'm just simply selecting it. So I'll just see the value. So it's orange here. So I want to select the value as orange. So I'll just change this if loop again. It will be if option attribute and the value as value. And I'm comparing it with orange value. If it exists, I'll simply click that and I'll say the value has been clicked. So this piece of code is done as of now from our side. And the last, let's say I'm closing the browser. So you can see this piece of code, I know it's a bit copied from the previous one, but it's difficult for us to write each and every step when we going forward. So since this is already step that was written in the previous session on the code, so I copied from there. So let's try to understand again. So in this code, I'm simply launching a Firefox browser and navigating to this website. I'm checking if there's a checkbox or there is an element exist with the name as color. If it exists, cool, I'll go inside. A message is displayed, checkbox is displayed, and then I'll just store that particular element in one value, that is select, and I'll just store all the elements present within that value, and I'm iterating all the values in this loop over here. Then we are simply saying, or we are simply selecting, checking the values. If the attribute of if any checkbox contain a value of orange, then select it. So I think we all are clear with this. So let's run this particular piece of code. I'm running it. So we can say it's running. So it should load a browser. So it's loading Firefox browser. It's done. It's navigating the particular page. So okay, so you can see it is also selected. So you can see orange checkbox is selected over here. It's done. Okay, it's closed it as well. So I think it's totally working fine. So you can see in the logs. So it says checkbox is displayed in this section. That's first one. Let's just go back to the console to compare. So it is there. So it's displaying the list of checkboxes. Oh, sorry, the size of checkboxes. It is 6. As we know, it is 6 over here. Then it's going inside the for loop or inside the loop that is iterating to check for the value. So it's again done. So it says value. So it will display all the values till it is achieved or it is reached till orange. Once we have orange, so this particular statement will execute. If it will see the value, if it is orange, it will simply click it. So it means the checkbox checked, and it will simply display the error message or the message over here with a sleep statement, and it will quit the browser. So I'll